Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HoLeGaAf's Global Astrology. Let me just move my my camera a little bit more in the middle. Know your planets, know yourself, know your nation, know yourself. Okay, we've got an action-packed show coming for you this evening. Over to my side here, of course, we have Lady G, looking stunning in this kind of
amazing
ruffled loveliness, and it looks like couture, but she gave us a little bit of a hint backstage. So could you tell us about your top?
Yes, a whole $4 for that top. I'll have you know, and $12.50 for my necklace.
It's just stunning.
You know, the rest of the big time spenders. Yeah.
I love it.
It is stunning. It really, because I honestly thought to myself, I was like, wow, you know, that YouTube algorithm is really sorting Lady G out, because that looks like couture. It really does. It is gorgeous. $4 or not, you look like $1 million, honestly. Gorgeous, lovely.
Big time. You know, Urgh is on a budget.
Indeed, indeed. And to my side here, we have Afefe. Afefe, it is so nice to see you back. It's been a little while, so you're one of our returning guests. Great to see you. And you're wearing a lovely sort of like this kind of smooth, what's the color there? It's like a greenish gray.
Call it a sage.
Sage.
Yeah, I like sage.
Which really complements everything, of course. And down under in sort of a bluish teal, would that be correct?
Going for the blue theme. Yes.
Yeah, going for the blue theme. And of course, she always has the bright red lip, everyone. That's a classic Lena, vintage Lena.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh, indeed. And so this evening, wow, as we know, do you remember that, like, ladies, so if we rewind our minds back to 2025, and do you remember we were just like, oh my gosh, things are so fast. Oh, there's so much news, you know, everything this week. 2026. It's like being in a blender or a tumble dryer. And I've just got to get something out quick, out off the top of my head while I still remember, because we're obviously going to be talking about the Epstein files. Naomi Campbell.
Oh, what's she done?
Naomi Campbell is in the Epstein files.
Oh, no.
Naomi Campbell. Dinner's like, oh, she's like, oh, I've got results for you. This blah, 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 blah. You know, another one. This is an absolute shocker. Halle Berry.
Oh, Halle Berry. No. But look, let me just say here. The thing is, I talked about this with Erica last week too. The thing is, A-listers hang out with A-listers. Right? True. So it doesn't mean they were not just because we like them and don't like the others or whatever. Mm-hmm. We've got to be careful, because we can make those assumptions. They're going to have photographs and everything else with everybody.
Yeah,
so
it's true. You're right.
Point. Yeah, that is.
With Naomi though, she was at the dinners, and also as well the photographs of her with Ghislaine Maxwell. So it's like, not,
and the point is, and this was Erica's point too, people didn't know or were suspicious, right, before it all blew up. And it was years ago he was actually arrested and got off and all of that. So people should have known better.
Yeah.
But, you know, they wanted nothing else. Yeah, they wanted those contacts. All right, so let's just dive in. Lots of comments, of course, coming in. And please be sure as well to like and subscribe and share and press the bell notification and all that jazz. Oh, I just realized that I forgot to put the information, email information, all of that kind of stuff under the video. I'll do it post-show. All right, so we're going to do our usual combination, folks, of one card pulls, and then we're going to do a full card pull on question number 3, which I think is very, very interesting. But we're going to start here with question number 1, and this is going to be an international one. Oh, where's Lena gone? She's vanished.
It's just my computer wasn't plugged in.
Oh, bless. All right, there we are. Live TV, folks. You know, it's all part of the charm.
That's it.
All right.
Lena's ass in the video. You know.
So this one's coming from Denise Ferguson. And this is an interesting one. And I've called this Delta Airlines mystery. So she says, oh, no, not Delta Airlines. This is Malaysia Airlines. Pardon me. So Malaysia Airlines 370 disappeared on March 8th, 2014. Do you remember? Gosh, that's a flashback. And remains one of the biggest aviation mysteries to date. A new no find, no fee search by Ocean Infinity in the Indian Ocean has begun. Will they have success, or will this remain a mystery? So one card pull on that. Let's just, you know, that just changes things up a bit.
Yes, I know.
Let's see here.
And I saw your video, HoLeGaAf, about the dream you had. Oh my God. Check that.
I mean, what is it? What I mean, why can't I get why can't I get, I don't know, some saint or something, or some pope or something like that? I get the most horrendous people showing up. But you know what? It was one of the most interesting dreams. If you guys haven't seen it, then what Lena was referring to, Lady G said she saw it as well. Guys, I've been having these dreams with Duck L'Orange. Well, I knew it was going to have to happen eventually. Epstein showed up. But what he shared was really something. Really something. And also as well, the fact that he hasn't transitioned and he's in this limbo world, and he's basically trying to burn off some of his karma before he faces, because he doesn't want to face his life review. He doesn't want to face it. And he was showing me like the karma scales, the weighing scales, and it just showed it down on one side. It was literally full of lead. And he's literally, so what is remarkable, and this is why these Epstein files aren't going to go anywhere, what he's shown me is that he is basically pushing from the other side to basically get everyone else thrown under the bus. So they have to face their comeuppance in this lifetime while they're still on Earth. And that is going to lessen off his karma a bit. It's not going to wipe it clean. And this is why I say this Epstein stuff is not going anywhere. We're just going to, it's just all going to come out. But yeah, thanks for the watch. It was quite something. So one card pull, Malaysia Airlines 370 disappeared March 18th 2014 and remains one of the biggest aviation mysteries to date. A new no find, no fees search by Ocean Infinity in the Indian Ocean has begun. Will they have success, or will it remain a mystery? One card pull. We'll go clockwise. Lady G starting first. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. All right. So, Lady G, what's your card and what do you think it means?
Well, I've got the 6 of Cups, so having to do with the past, yeah, and water elements and all of that. So, yeah.
What, you think they'll find it?
I think they're going to have some success with it. Yeah.
Wow. Fefe, I think you've got the 6 of Cups as well. Is that correct?
So I can't help but agree with Lady G. I mean, what are the odds, right? What are the odds?
Yeah.
And on this deck, they give you little keywords in there, and it even says nostalgia and a cleansing. And that feels like there's, cleanup effort or finding effort, continuing the search because they don't want to let it go. I think they may find something, even if it's just a piece, of it or something along those lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
And does it have a swimming pool on there, or is that a blue window?
It's a blue window.
All right. I thought it was like a David Hockney style kind of swimming pool. It would have been even more. Wow. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, not interpreting, really. It says celebrate success.
Really straightforward. Yeah.
And
then when you look at my card, look at that.
Yeah.
Ace of Pentacles, which is very much known as a yes and a success card. So it's looking pretty good, folks. They're probably going to find something down there. And I think with these companies as well, they have to have quite a lot of confidence in their skills, because they said no fee, no success. But trust me, they probably have a good idea. They've probably already scanned the waters, and they probably have a good idea. The Indian Ocean is one of the deepest oceans in the world, by the way. So, looks like it might be positive there. Let's just say some hellos to folks. Let me just scroll back up, higher up, because I like to try and read out some of the ones who come earlier. Someone said here, Mary said, HoLeGaAf, your Epstein dream video, you said Epstein was in a purgatory place. Well, I don't believe in hell. I've been. Yes. Yeah, I can understand that. And then what is this? Oh gosh, and there's all these, there's a question about the Guthrie kidnapping. Do you remember that? I think that's still ongoing. Was Trump involved? Oh, I'm not sure. With that, Puerto Rico is in the house. Francis, hello from Puerto Rico. Will the consequences of Pam Bondi and the rest be involved in Epstein files, especially after today's public testimony? We're going to do questions on that, folks. We're going to do questions on that. So let's go to question number 2. And this is coming from Jerry Geld. And this is a Mark Carney question. So she said, Mark Carney got elected because of his anti-Trump platform. Canada had led the world in its US goods and travel boycott. However, it's just come out that Canada is purchasing 14 more US fighter jets rather than the Swedish ones. So you remember they were going to go for the Swedish fighter jets. As a Canadian, I'm outraged that the government would do this. Feels like a betrayal to the world. Do the cards show if this contract will go ahead, or will Carney make a better decision?
Okay. So yes or no?
Yeah, like a yes or no. One card pull.
And blessings to Canada. What a terrible shooting.
Is that what's happened in Canada?
Yeah. So 10 dead and a lot wounded.
Oh God, no,
and
that's
children.
Oh God, awful. Oh, awful. There's what this Pluto in Capricorn is doing is bringing up all the ugly, all the id, all of the power-hungry people, and awful. And they always go for the children, which is the most cowardly thing of all.
Oh, it's hideous. Hideous
People. All right, Mark Carney, fighter jets, Afefe going first, one card pull. Mark Carney, what's going on with Mark Carney? This one, there we go. All right, after 3. Are we ready? All right. So 1, 2, 3. All right. So Fefe, how do you interpret your card? What do you have?
I tell you guys, I was a little, with that 4 of Pentacles, I was thrown off a little bit. So I did pull a clarifier with it, and I got the Queen of Wands. I wonder if Carney's come under pressure from someone who may have felt whatever he's planning to do with the jets, if the deal does go through. I wonder if he came under pressure from someone who may in turn need to use them, because I know part of this deal with them, with different countries, different nations using other sources outside of the USA, has been in the event of needing to, European nations needing to band together and be prepared for their own defenses. So I just get the feeling that he may in fact go through with it, but if so, it's because there's someone there's someone, it appears, that may be pressuring him to do so.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, Lena, what card did you get and how do you interpret it?
The Hermit. So I don't think we know what went on behind the scenes, which is a bit like what Afefe's saying. And I agree in the sense, I don't think it's just like Trump pressuring him, because I think he could resist that. I think it's more likely NATO saying, look, we're all in trouble. We have to do it more quickly than maybe the Swedish deal could come through or something. I'm not defending Carney. I don't know, but I simply feel there's much more to the story that we don't see yet.
Indeed. I've got the Two of Wands, and I think this is a dead giveaway. Here you see the Merchant. This is the card of planning. The one suite I associate, you guys know I associate with business and commerce, and especially the one here, he is pondering the globe. So this is Mark Carney thinking of the global impact and consequences of, I think, of defying the Trump regime in this particular one. I think this has been a calculated move. What this also says to me as well, this could also speak about international pressure and other international players that were a factor in the decision. So I have a feeling there might have been people who might have picked up the call, and even for Mark Carney with his defiant stance, I think there were pressures coming from other places saying, well, maybe this is a bridge too far, too much of a poke in the eye for the United States. Do the United States, well, does this regime deserve that contract? No, they should have went with the Swedes. But it seems like there would have been some greater consequence that we're not aware of. Some pressure international was put on him. Lady G?
Well, I got the Sister of Fire, which is the message about an action. So I wanted to see what was going on. And underneath of it, the bottom of the deck saying that it was Four of Earth, that it was a position of power. So stabilizing the power.
We are at the sink tonight, Lady G.
I know. I love your sage, clears the air.
Yes, it's great.
Yeah, there you are. And when we stitch all of that together, what are we seeing? The theme is like hidden pressure, maybe international contracts, wanting to maintain some kind of stability, maybe some kind of border integrity. So I think there's been quite a few calls to Mr. Carney to take that contract. I don't think it was his choice. Wow. All right. Are we ready for question number 3, ladies?
Yes.
All right. Now, this is interesting. We're going to do a full card pull on this one because I want to see all your talents on display. And when you see the nature of the question, you'll see why I'm like, right, I've got to pose this to the ladies here. So this is coming from Martina Alcaraz. I think I've said that right. I almost said Alcatraz, but that's a Freudian slip in my mind. Well,
Alcaraz is the tennis player.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've got Alcaraz is the tennis player, but Alcatraz is where these...
Yes, I know.
SOB should be. But you'll see hers is Alcaraz. Almost, it's got almost like a slightly more North African kind of vibe to it. Anyway, semantics. So she says, question. Hello, HoLeGaAf and your lovely ladies. I was wondering what was the connection between Epstein and MAGA women? Like, she says, KKK Caroline, yeah, Pam Bondi, Erica Kirk, or Megyn Kelly. Were they groomed for later honey trap purposes? And then she says their dead stares and inability to have any compassion with the victims is sickening. So I think we'll do a full card pull. Like, what is going on with these MAGA women and why do they keep supporting this exploitative, patriarchal abuse, basically? And I just want to see what you guys come up with, particularly with a full card pull.
Okay, I'd just like to say something before we launch in here, because I think
Sure.
it's a hugely important question. And these are women who have nannies and au pairs and things and think other women should stay at home, right? But I think it's a generational thing with Epstein. Maybe not with Megyn Kelly, but when you think of the other two, they're too young. I think KKK is only 28 now or something. He's been dead for 5 years, and you know,
It's a
the
good point.
timelines don't work for
Don't
them.
match, yeah.
But the principle's still there. They support the patriarchy.
So what's going on with MAGA women? And this time, Lena, you'll be going first. MAGA women. What's going on? MAGA women. And that's one of the things as well that came out as well in the dream as well of like what Epstein was saying. It was like they felt like they all belonged to a brotherhood, even the women. He was saying that they felt like they were part of a brotherhood. Very, very interesting.
And speaking of dreams, I woke up this morning and saw like an old-fashioned headline, old-fashioned font, you know, newspapers and things, saying oil shock.
Wow.
Oh,
Just saying.
oh, let's see.
All right, I can go if you like, Hoagie.
Go for it. So what do you have, Lena, and insights on these MAGA women?
Yes, well, this is the card with the Four of Cups rejecting something that is being offered, but they're not rejecting it, they're embracing it. But I think what we're seeing here is, and this is the sociologist speaking as much as the tarot reader, it's a class issue. So if you are affluent and have a professional career and stuff, you can have a foot in both worlds, the trad wife and the big earner. Amy Coney Barrett has 7 kids or something, and she's on the Supreme Court making rules that other women can't have healthcare, you know, like, so they don't see it for themselves, which is interesting in itself. The Hanged Man here, I think we're going to see a flip on this. We are experiencing a delay, a credibility delay with MAGA women because, again, it's education levels coming in here. So there's a delay for underclass, if you like, MAGA women. For them, it feels like security. They're being promised security. Their man's going to stick around, you know, they're going to, and their kids are going to be good. And, you know, that's not what the middle class women are thinking. This is the 2 versions of the Queen of Cups. The ultimate mother card is the lid on the abominations or off the abominations. And it's a travesty of that. I'll move more quickly now. They get 2 aces. It's working for them.
Wow.
Working for them as a political tool, and it doesn't have to compromise their behind-the-scenes lives. The individual women we were talking about all have, you know, big splashy lives while they push this stuff. Anyway, I'll stop there because we've got to go through everybody.
Oh, fascinating. Yeah, really, really interesting that. What I've got here is the first card that I get that comes out is Temperance, which of course is the card of recalibration, balancing, alchemy and stuff like that. Now, obviously these women aren't balanced, but what this says to me is that they are constantly weighing up in terms of how much good or bad it will benefit them or not. So they are assessing, they are looking. I think one thing that was interesting is that I don't know if there were MAGA women, but there was, the stories die down a bit, but they're saying there's been a recent spike in divorces because of the lackluster response certain women got from their husbands when, you know, when Renee Good was killed, and the wife would say to him, that easily could have been me. And he's like, and she was like, what? Yeah. So I don't know if that's MAGA women or other women, but you know, if your husband's saying that and giving that response, he's probably not a Democrat. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's probably not a Democrat. So what this says to me is that, you know, they are having to kind of balance, reassess. And again, a lot of it is to do with this, am I safe? Am I not? What am I giving away? Is it worth it? And I think this is what's ticking in the background. If we look here, the next card for me is even more revealing. We've got the Six of Pentacles here with the merchant dishing out. This is to do with who holds the money power strings. If you are a MAGA trad wife, you do not hold the purse strings. This is your husband up here giving to you and your kids. And so there may be that aspect as well of maybe not being financially, not having the financial independence, particularly if you're coming from that trad wife, mortgage kind of thing. Yeah, often it's all surrendered over. So if your husband is in control of everything, you don't even feel like you can leave. Or there may be a poor understanding of economics or a lack of financial education or agency as well with these women. Just in case we weren't sure what we were talking about here, spirits made it loud and clear. The Emperor, yeah, which is what? The archetype for what? Patriarchal dominance. So this also is talking about how these, a lot of these MAGA women buy into the patriarchal dominance, and particularly these kind of roles that they've seen their fathers play out. Yeah, grandfathers, fathers, brothers, often getting, you know, preferential treatment. So it's almost like that's part of the brainwash, as it were. They may fantasize about changing the balance, but they're not financially able to, and they're enthralled to the patriarchy. Also as well, there is if we got here the Knight of Swords, which is a card of what? Aggression, violence. So I think also as well, these women, if they were to fully rebel, and again, not making excuses for them, but there is an element here of violent reprisal, which they could get. I don't know if you guys saw it because there's so much news. I only saw the headline. I didn't have time to dip into it. But sadly, a woman was shot dead by her father, by her MAGA father, because she called out Trump. That was the response that she got. So there's also that element as well of not only buying into the patriarchy, but a patriarchal dominance, the threat of violence and reprisal should the woman or the sister or the daughter not vote in the right way. So there's also that, again, not an excuse, there are real consequences for these women. And then here we've got the 8 of Wands card. This is a card of information, of speed. This can also be a card of things flying through the air, obviously, but another one is communication and emails. This card is associated with emails, where this can also talk about the Jeffry Epstein scenario. And also as well, I think it's just the scenario, everything is speeding up so much now that MAGA women en masse are likely to reach a breaking point at some point, because really, how much longer can you keep on going with this? Because you'll be next, your daughters will be next, your sons will be next. And it's like, how much more can you keep going along with this madness? So I think it's cracking. Lady G?
Well, what I got that's underneath driving it all is things overturned, sacrifices made, the dark truth, seeing through the darkness to what's there. So above it, we have, of course, you know, power, the establishment, the house, and drama. I think part of it is being sold this drama of something being offered, the white knight and all of this other stuff. And of course, the promises that are made. And then we come to Trump and young women. And I think this is just that narcissistic thing of, you know, just keeping women under their drama that they're brought into. Then above it, next thing we have is the women. And
Oh, sorry, the sound just went a bit funny. I'm
yeah,
gonna hold into my obsidian. Could you say that again? I think we're getting some interference here.
yeah. So for the women, the light is on the monetary thing, the abundance, money, status, power, etc. So next we come to the challenge, which is
What is that? It's like
Oh,
this
sorry, it's
dog
probably
noise.
no.
Ah, I see. I'm just thinking, like, what is that?
So again, let's try this again.
Yes, please.
Challenge is community, and then standing guard and feeling, that they are separate from regular community because they're trying to be put on some kind of a hierarchy and closer to power, etc. So what's under the surface is what's being worked on, which is again trying to get the money, the status, the life, the status. But what they're finding out, the choices made in life are leading them unhappy. It's not all bright, all the glitter. And then so many of these women, again, the ones we were talking about, not the regular MAGA, but the ones we were talking about were filtered through this system of the abuse and things, the shows, the pageants, and all of this other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all of that.
Wow.
Absolutely. Thank you. Fefe, what do you have?
Okay. So going to the person who posed the question when they were talking about the grooming. So I don't want to get too, we're all over 21, I'm assuming, but I think there was some grooming. I'm going to put it like that. I pulled these two together, the devil and the emperor, which you're talking about, of course. So we're talking about that masculine influence, but we also know, those of us who read the cards in this context, this could very well tie into some grooming, perhaps even some mistreatment or interesting treatment when they were younger. And I don't even have to go into detail with that. So, but that's what I'm picking up on. Remembering as well, when I saw these cards, you all spirit reminded me, and there are questions about even how Melania got into this and what her real role was prior to her introduction to Trump, right? So I just get the sense that, yes, toxic masculinity. I know, HoLeGaAf, you also pulled the emperor and talked about that.
Yeah.
As did Dr. Lena and certainly Lady G. So yes, there's this common thread I think we're all getting around their being sucked in, because we know that devil, the attachment, but sometimes the allure, the devil can be really seductive energy.
Yeah.
The allure of power and influence. We think about somebody like a Usha Vance, who did not fit the mold of a traditional trad wife or MAGA wife, but lo and behold, threw it all in because of what? The allure of power, the presumption that if she stuck around long enough, that maybe JD can ascend the throne. So I think there's a lot of layers to this. And even when Dr. Lena talked about the class issues, I think that there's some of that as well. But this is what's interesting about it, because it goes across the board. It doesn't matter whether some of these women were born with a silver spoon in their mouths or whether they were born in a trailer park. They have all, I think, been exposed to some idea of what it was going to take for them to be with and keep a man. And I'll leave it at that again, that, led to some unhealthy places.
Yeah, I'd like to just follow up on that, Fefe, because I think you're absolutely right. That's where the grooming is.
Yes.
We think of it as these dirty old men, but it starts at naught, how a little girl sits and what she's supposed to do and not question. And I'd just say to everybody, if you haven't seen the videos of A Life Take Two. And she's an ex-Mormon. She took herself out of the Mormon church.
Oh,
and
yes.
Talks about growing up being groomed to be a white supremacist and a trad wife.
Mhm.
And she just does it so well. Life Take Two. Brilliant. Love her.
Yeah, really interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that, Lena, like, because like some of her podcasts and where she just talks about, you know, her journey and how she was indoctrinated into this as because she was literally a Mormon trad wife as well, wasn't she? She was literally,
Yes, and she deconstructs it from the inside.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And she said, had I not got out, I would have been Turning Point USA.
Yes.
You know.
It's
Indeed.
And the racial aspect is really interesting. She covers that thoroughly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And I want to check that out. And I just had 2 other cards. I didn't pull a lot. So that was the root when I got this. I was asking what the root of it is, and that's when I got the Devil and the Emperor that came to, like, the, you know, what is all this based on? When I asked where is it now? Where's the energy now? Is there some shifts or whatever's going on? And sure enough, and you all kind of tied into this as well, the Magician came up. So I do think there's not to mention 2026, year of the Magician, a 1 year, and so many, you know, so many wheels turning and changing. And I do think that I don't want to, you know, certainly not a wholesale shift in consciousness or a rising up or anything. They're in too deep, and they're really reliant, mentally, physically, emotionally, psychically reliant. But when I crossed the Magician, I did get the 7 of Wands, you all. So I think, and you know, I do think as a lot of these men are going to have their power diminished, and they're going to lose a lot of that money.
Yeah.
So the things that kept them glued and sort of, you know, covered, if you will, those things are going to start to frazzle and fray. And I think we're going to see, as HoLeGaAf said, some sort of peeling back, where they recognize they've got to stand in their own power some sort of way, because they built their castles on sand in some respects.
Fascinating. I just want to quickly thank you so much, Fefe, for that. I just want to bring some people in. Sorry that it cuts you off a bit. Purple, what's that? Purple HoLeGaAf, something like and Saturn hasn't even hit Aries yet. Now look, remember, I'm sidereal astrology here. Saturn is actually technically in Pisces. Yeah, this is why the illusions and delusions are disappearing. But I forgive you. Western still works, of course. So she said, Saturn hasn't hit Aries yet. The Fire Horse and solar eclipse hasn't come galloping in. Actually, the energy of that has begun. But 17th of Feb, that's when it's official. People, the next week is going to be too much, y'all. Hold on to your wigs and your asses, people. Yeah, that's what they said.
And where it's all, sorry, just another snippet.
Yeah.
On all this, how this stuff is systemic. In the comments, it says the dad who shot the teenage daughter didn't get charged.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Oh!
This is where the system supports it.
So he didn't get charged for shooting. Is she alive or is she dead?
She's dead. I do know that. She's dead.
You see, like, it's like you hear stuff like this and you just like, it's just so diabolical. So he shot his daughter dead and he is not being charged for infanticide, basically.
Oh, that.
Well, it may come later, but at this point, I'm relying on this viewer's perspective here. He has not been charged at this point.
Oh my God! It's just it's just so diabolical. But you see, this is the brainwashing. This is where that toxic patriarchy is so dangerous. So
That's
dangerous.
Where it ends up.
Edith says, "Hoagie, in your dream, when you saw men wearing orange, I thought of Trump, Duck L'Orange. He was not alone in his cell. And think about it: if this really was a suicide, folks, they would have kept the video." Because then everyone would be exonerated. You don't have someone enter his cell wearing orange, which means it was a fellow cellmate or whatever else they picked up.
Or
And then
disguised
you
as.
don't have the FBI go in, and what is it? They removed, there were these two things that they removed, which wipes the tapes. Wipes the tapes. And that was actually documented. They said they were going to do this. Anyway, and like I said, listen, when people come in dreams, I can tell when they're dead or alive. Let me tell you, people that are living, they do not use telepathy to communicate. That belongs to the dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only the dead can do that. And anyway, so
And
we
it
got
was
here.
certainly suspicious.
If I could just say real briefly,
Sure.
thank you for that perspective. And I need to go find the video with your dream because, I've had a lot of all of us, I'm sure, is he alive? Is he dead? Is he alive or is he dead? And I have consistently felt that he was no longer among the living. But when you said in your dream, he's in that in-between state, that completely made sense to me. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Completely.
Yeah, and that's what really surprised me about the dream, because I was like, oh my God, he's in between. He's in a liminal space, because I was like, where are we? And I could just feel, I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, he hides there. So he can still move around, but he doesn't visit, he doesn't frequent his usual places too much, because it's not like spirit is like these big bouncers, like, oh, we're going to come and drag you off now. It has to be very much your free will. Most people go to the light, most people have their life review, but he's so terrified of his life review because he knows it's so terrible. And when he showed me his karmic scales, and then it just all being on the floor, like piled with lead, I was just like, you got to do a lot of gold bars on the other side to get the thing to kind of come up. And basically that's what he's going to try. And this is why we're not sure, because he's still in this place that's still very close to Earth. Energetically, he's dead, but he's still very close. And he's whispering in people's ears, nudging, doing it was really quite something. I was like, wow. Anyway.
Yeah.
Check it out, folks. Shall we go to the next question?
Yes.
All right. So let's where was I? Sorry, Lena.
Was that question 3?
That was question number 3. So that was the full card. Now we're going to question number 4. 1 card pull, but we're going to throw in some Shakespeare. And when you see, you'll see why. All right. So this is coming from Claudia Sherman. Hi all. Can you read on lying Pam Bondi and if she'll be removed and lose her law license? Thanks. Yeah. And we'll this person is outrageous. Absolutely. They're not even trying to hide it. It's just outrageous. And I think it's me going first this time.
The disrespect that she showed those survivors today, the utter disrespect, refusing to even look at them, just.
It's just, basically, what that means is, what she's saying is that there's no law and order, no accountability for anyone rich or powerful. If you're poor, we'll throw you under the bus. If you're not rich enough, But it's just this abject refusal, just refusing, where all the heads are falling in elsewhere. Literally, I mean, Lena will be pleased to know this, but Keir Starmer is hanging on by his shoelaces.
Yeah, it's countdown now.
Yeah, hanging on by his shoelaces. And Lena won't like this when I tell her this, but I did make a prediction a few years ago. Kemi Badenoch is now polling ahead of Sir Keir Starmer and Nigel Farage in the UK.
Yeah, well, anyone would. This is what happens when people hate their leader, Yeah,
but being ahead of Farage, I found that one interesting.
That's important.
Interesting. All right, so let's see here. Pam Bondi, the disgrace. And then we'll do Shakespeare on her. Pam Bondi. All right, let's go. It's deplorable. All right, after 3. All right. You ready? Fef is picking.
Yes, I'm ready. I got it.
All right, here we go. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, here we go. Well, look at this. The card comes back. Like, look, this is, in a way, this is so simple. A hack and a lackey.
Yeah.
This turd is literally doing it for the money. This is Daddy Trump here, the DOJ. She's just collecting coin. This is her begging here at the bottom. You just tell me what to say, Daddy Trump. Tell me what to say, and I will do it. And I'll, you know, what this also tells me as well is of her internal and spiritual poverty. This is a derelict woman. She's derelict. Nothing going on the inside. She's just there. She obviously got her degree on the back of a, you know, pumpkin bag or whatever it was. Yeah. And she's literally here. This is her almost in the beggary. What's so interesting is you've got the scale of justice, well, scales here, which should be the scales of justice, but really she's just a beggar. She's just paid, and she is just, as long as she gets the money, she'll say anything. Dreadful. Yeah. Lady G?
Well, I got the card of the Magus. So her attempting to manipulate everything, think she's going to get out of it. But I thought this deserves a Tarot Noir card. And what I got was no way out. And she is in the junkyard of life. Yeah. So with that.
Yeah.
This is her future home area.
Yeah, absolutely. Junkyard. Bang on. Bang on. What do you have?
Look, maybe that's where she's skating off to the junkyard with her knee pads, you know, with her scraped up knees. Like maybe that's what this was all about. But you also said a moment ago something to the effect. I do think that she right now she's drinking the Kool-Aid and she thinks she's gonna skate.
Yeah.
She's either gonna get hard,
skate, quite literally.
She's gonna, but
Well, that's what I get with her too today was that, you know, Trump is promising her all this, just stick with me and I'm going to give you a full pardon. Just don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of you, baby. Just stick with me.
Yeah.
She's in cloud.
Need knee pads.
Yeah.
Need those knee pads for us all over.
Absolutely. Lena, how do you interpret your card? What do you have?
Well, 5 of Wands. I think this is the Dems behind the scenes going, how are we going to get rid of her, you know, when the time comes or whatever. I don't see it happening too soon, love to be wrong, but she causes conflict and she is the head judicial person. It's like, America doesn't have a functioning democracy if he's got immunity and it's a weaponized DOJ. That means it's already not a functioning democracy. So this is what the behind the scenes is, you know.
Yeah. All that's missing on these cards is the bananas, isn't it? To say Banana Republic. Yeah. Isn't it? It's just so I saw her attitude. I saw part of it, and I've never seen such flagrant arrogance. It's just outrageous, absolutely outrageous. But let's see what the Bard has to think. Now we've done Pam Bondi once before on the Bard. I can't remember what he said about her. And I think it's due time because she's obviously just soiled herself again. So let's, Afefe, you're the guest. So you just tell me, so got the book here. You tell me where to stop. And this is when we will find out what the Bard thinks of Pam Bondi. Yep. So where if you feel the impulse, you just say stop and that will be it.
Stop.
Oh, wow. Let's see what's on the other side. This is quite interesting. Okay, so here, this is from Richard III. And it says here, thou elvish marked abortive rooting hog.
Ooh, ouch.
And then on the next page, Henry this is Henry IV, part 1. This sanguine coward this bed presser, this horseback breaker, this huge hill of flesh. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pam Bondi always gets the worst of, like, because it's not guaranteed, you know, that when the bard gives his opinion, it's not always just throwing the you know what. Sometimes the answer can be very sophisticated. Right. Pam Bondi always just gets the worst stuff.
Yeah.
It's absolutely dreadful.
Right. Like, but just like, Bard, tell us how you really feel, right?
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, are we ready for the next question?
Yes.
All right, and just want to say thank you as well to everyone joining us. It's just over 3,000 of you watching us here live, so thanks so much for supporting the show. Please be sure as well to like, share, subscribe, hype, all that jazz, and press that bell notification button as well, because it really helps with the algorithm, because they're tinkering around with the algorithms. You know, the political channels, they're kind of trying to starve us off a little bit. So keep your support there, press that bell, and that helps support the channel. All right, let's go to question number 5. Oh, okay, so this is coming from Denise Ferguson. Now, this is an interesting one, and it should be a scandal of scandals, but it's not. Anyway, Denise says, the Midas Touch Network, sorry if you can hear that screeching, the foxes have just decided to go at it outside. The Midas Touch Network investigating the Epstein files discovered in a draft folder a DOJ press release through the New York U.S. Attorney's Office of an announcement of Epstein's death 1 day before he died. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
Right.
I heard about it.
And this is also as well further evidence. That's why I say he was killed off. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Remember, people that are alive cannot do telepathy, just so you know, not in dreams anyway. So will the truth about Epstein's death be uncovered by the midterms by a possible news source, or will this mystery continue? Yeah. So one card pull, Lady G going first again. Will the true nature of Epstein's death be revealed, or will it remain a mystery? Epstein's death, will it be revealed, or will it be a mystery? Will it remain a mystery? Sorry, I just get my card. Will it remain a mystery? Oh God, the foxes are going crazy. It's almost breeding season for them. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh. All right, Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I get the Ace of Wands. So some new action is coming. So I would say, yeah, that's a positive direction.
And HoLeGaAf, you said something to this effect. I feel like this King of Wands may be someone who, in the media, investigatively, somebody who goes after this story, like really continues to go at it and pursue it, because I was curious who this was referring to or what the energy around it was. So I did pull a second card really quick, and I got the Empress. So the creation of something. I feel like this could be, again, globally going, the story growing, but this is somebody who I think may break it, like find just, connect just enough dots and come out with birth something, whether it's a book, an expose, a movie, something that shows what happened.
Oh, Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, lies and deceit, right?
Yeah.
They don't want this to come out for obvious reasons. But the lunar eclipse here could well play a part. It might gather a bit of momentum around that, because it's not such a big leap for people to make, actually. Not only this is icing on the cake, everything else that happened, but they'll do their best to cover it up.
And thanks for mentioning eclipse as well, because guys, on the 17th, I think it's the 17th, there is going to be a solar eclipse. And remember, solar eclipses are all about leadership. Secrets come out about leadership. We've also got K2, the south node of the moon, continuing his progress through sidereal Leo. Do you remember I said snip, snip? I said people in leadership are going to be losing titles and losing positions of power. Obviously, we have Andy Mountbatten, formerly known as Prince, who is no more. We've got Sir Keir Starmer just holding on. I reckon he's gone after the May elections. Trump is an absolute lunatic, and there's all other sorts of people falling down. And then, of course, we're officially in to the year of the fire horse, and it's Diwali as well, and an eclipse. It's just absolutely epic. So what I've got here is I've got the Hierophant, and you might think, oh, quite a tame card, but this is what I think this means. The Hierophant often talks about what? The established norms. There can be religiosity and religion around this and dogma, but this is a card that is associated with what? Government. I think this was an inside job. One of the things that Epstein said to me in the dream was that Steve Bannon felt guilty because he was part of it, but he's sort of saying he didn't have a choice. This, for me, it means an inside job. This talks about governments in general. So if it wasn't Steve Bannon, if it wasn't Duck L'Orange, which obviously Duck L'Orange would very much have wanted that, it would have been some other government. Either way, a highly powered individual or individuals or institutions were the ones that took out Epstein. So for entertainment purposes only. Yeah.
Sure.
Lady G. Oh wait, no, you went, didn't you? You went first. You went first.
Okay.
I remember what you were talking about. So yeah, sorry, I get I get so wrapped up in these things. All right, so let's go to the next question. Yeah, let's go to the next question, and that was number 5. Here we are. This is a really good one. This is coming from Cheryl Renee. She says, love and light to you, HoLeGaAf and ladies. It's me again with the same question for you and she says, succulent sirens of sorcery.
Oh! Awesome. Awesome.
This is a really good question, this one. And we didn't have time to read it out last week. So she says, after Epstein's truth, oddly enough, has washed us clean of all the tainted and shameful political, religious, intellectual, wealthy, famous and influential leaders from the face of the earth, what do the cards say will fill this gigantic void? So maybe we could put it one way. Once the cabal is removed, what could potentially replace it? One card pull. What could potentially replace it? And this time, Afefe is going first on this one. Right, what could replace the cabal? What could replace the cabal? Oh, I hope it's something positive. All right, are we ready? So after 3, 1, 2, 3.
King of Swords for me.
So how do you interpret that, Afefe?
I think it's somebody. An easy guess would be because the cabal and this whole regime. So when that changes, there are 2 different ways. I think there's going to be somebody. I'm not the only reader. Perhaps some of you as well have seen that it may not be an easy fix to install like another straight up president in 2028. Who knows what's going to happen between now and then? That there may even be a collective or like a council that like an interim government leadership where, so bottom line, I see this as someone emerging to take the helm, really sharp, really ready, rational. Arguably, you could say someone like a Gavin Newsom, but I also think he's going to have some challenges as time goes on. But somebody's going to emerge that's ready to rebrand, remessage, rally the people, and be very effective at it.
Thank you. What I have to add there, sorry, it has spooked me out, and I don't want to taint your reading, but the person on the card looks a bit disturbingly like Baron Trump.
I don't. No, didn't see that till
Oh, let's take a better look.
No, that does a bit.
Well, you have that shadowy thing going on in the background.
I was just like, oh God.
No, right?
Like Baron.
Okay.
Anyway.
Now you're gonna have me looking at this deck funny, HoLeGaAf. Almost like you can't unsee it. You know what?
Jeez. Sorry, Pepe. Nina, how do you interpret your card?
Well, the Justice card. And for me, the Justice card, when it turns up, and as I tell my students, it's conventional justice, which would be a novelty, but it's also my card of social justice. So to answer the big question down the road, there is no justice without social justice.
Oh, fascinating. Okay, I've got the Fool. So what does this really talk about? It's going to take a giant leap of faith, guys. It's almost like all of humanity, we're going to have to take this giant leap of faith. We're going to have to try new things that we've not tried before, because the system is so riddled. This is like woodworm, isn't it? It's just eaten through the structures, and you just feel like the international structures are teetering on the edge, and the next strong wind is going to come and collapse it all. So I think this is us taking a collective leap of faith, and where we kind of pioneer, where we do something new once the old order is gone. Lady G?
Well, what I picked one card that is underneath the deck to see what's driving it. And it's a message, a new grounded thing coming in. And I am with you again, Afefe. I also have the King of Swords. So
and yours are better looking.
Yes, mine doesn't look like we know who, but a new mindset coming in, of leadership coming in, and it's very grounded, stabilizing, etc. So we are on the same wavelength again.
Yes.
Oh,
and in the comments, Amber Wood says, would the various state governors possibly step up and fill that void in the American context? And I think something like that is worth considering for sure. A bit like the EU format, where it's a whole group of people. Someone's notionally the head for a year or 2 years or whatever it is, but it's actually collective decision making. Yeah.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And that King of Swords as well speaks a lot as well about sharpness, astute decisions. But there's also that kind of rational and clinical side of the King of Swords as well. So it's going to be, I think, a different kind of democracy, maybe electronic voting, like, I don't know, but it's going to be something pioneering and different. But it's going to be based on rationality. I don't think it's going to be religious, as it were, because the King of Swords, it doesn't speak of that. It speaks very much of rationality. So I think there's going to be very much an element of the evangelical and all of the other stuff just being dragged out of it. I don't see that being a part of Americans' future when it comes to the politics, because this is going to be about clear rationality, even things science. There might be some scientific or algorithmic, or I hope not AI, but you never know. But that's what that says to me as well. Right, well, the time has gone so quickly, ladies. Thanks so much. I hope you guys watching really enjoyed the show. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Check out the Epstein video if you can handle it. It's like, that is something. Ladies, wonderful show, so interesting. Thank you for all your cards and stuff. Afefe, it was great having you back. We're now doing this bi-weekly format, so the next 3 guests after Afefe are already in place, but Afefe, I will email you in the coming days to see when you're next free, and it'd be wonderful to have you back again. Thank you everyone for joining us. Well over 3,200 and whatnot, so thank you, and we will see you soon. Yeah. All right.
Cheers,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.